James Brolin, who meticulously documented his days with Barbra Streisand, is now facing his most challenging period yet. After celebrating 25 years of marriage, James Brolin and Barbra Streisand are encountering their greatest challenge. A devastating truth that has prompted James to step back from his career. He even declined a substantial $2 million role in order to be at home. Barbra Streisand has been battling a hidden enemy, one that impacts millions of women worldwide. The shocking reality that heart disease is the leading cause of death for women, claiming more lives than all types of cancer combined. Consider this. 1 in 3 women will succumb to heart disease and stroke, resulting in a woman's life being lost every 80 seconds. The silent killer often goes unnoticed or is misunderstood, leading to tragic consequences for numerous families. The issue is compounded by the fact that women often receive inferior care compared to men when it comes to heart health. Doctors may overlook their signs of a heart attack or fail to administer the appropriate tests and treatments, a disparity known as the Yentl syndrome, named after Barbra's movie Yentl, which depicted a woman pretending to be a man to pursue an education. Barbra was dismayed to learn about these significant disparities in care and recognized that heart disease is not solely an ailment of older men, but rather a widespread crisis affecting women of all ages, including younger women, and particularly African American women. This systemic health crisis is the underlying reason for James Brolin's departure from certain aspects of his illustrious career. Not to bid farewell to Barbra, but to support her in her crucial mission. Reports from insiders in Hollywood indicate that James recently rejected a substantial $2 million acting role to be there for Barbra, as she advocates for women's heart health. His decision exemplifies the depth of his support for her and her critical cause, signifying a merging of their separate bank accounts, which they have always maintained in a manner that transcends monetary value. As Barbra champions this cause, there is an immense need for funding for research, awareness, and treatment centers. And James stands alongside her, prepared to contribute to the medical expenses in this global battle. This poses the most significant trial for them in their 25 years of marriage. James' forthcoming chapter may be his most heart-rending, as he places his wife's mission, a mission to save women's lives, above his own personal aspirations and career. The act of love and shared purpose demonstrated by Barbra is powerful and inspiring. To truly understand Barbra's strength and determination, it is essential to look back at her challenging journey. Barbra Streisand was born in Brooklyn, New York on April 24, 1942. Her father, Emmanuel, was a respected teacher, but he tragically passed away when Barbra was just 15 months old from a seizure. His sudden death left the family in a difficult financial situation, with only $250 in savings, leading them to move in with her grandparents, despite never knowing. Her father, Barbra, later discovered a note he wrote in her baby book, expressing his belief that she would be special. Barbra faced further hardships as her mother remarried, and her stepfather was unsupportive, even telling her he would break her spirit. At the age of 16, Barbra left home, facing homelessness and financial instability, often relying on friends, couches, or sleeping on fire escapes in the summer. Her resilience and determination were evident as she maintained perfect attendance at school, studying in libraries and diners while working part-time for just 75 cents an hour. Despite earning only $17 a week, Barbra managed her expenses in such a way that she could visit her mother twice a week for dinner without revealing her homeless situation. During this difficult time, she wore the same coat for 3 years, repairing and even dyeing it herself with leftover costume supplies, demonstrating her resourcefulness and perseverance. These early experiences shaped her profound awareness of social issues, preparing her for the challenges she would face in Hollywood and her later outspokenness. In 1960, at the age of 18, Barbra's determination led her to perform at a nightclub for $18 over the weekend, doubling her usual usher pay, despite never having had a voice lesson up to that point. Her passion for singing and her unyielding determination were evident, as she learned by practicing in stairwells and subways, even drawing small crowds. Despite facing criticism about her appearance and her voice, Barbra's resilience and dedication ultimately led her to success in the tough world of Hollywood. On that memorable night, she delivered a stunning performance, singing Cry Me a River followed by a humorous rendition of Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf. The audience fell silent and then erupted into applause, giving her a standing ovation for nearly 5 minutes. Ahoy! This extraordinary display earned her perfect scores from the judges, marking a historic first for the club. Her exceptional talent shattered the conventional standards of beauty, proving that true artistry transcends molds and stereotypes. In 1961, she made a bold decision to redefine herself, dropping the second A from her name and embracing Barbra, a move she believed would make her stand out. She proudly retained her Brooklyn accent and resisted pressure to undergo cosmetic surgery, remaining true to her unique identity. Despite professional advice to conform, she continued to sing unconventional songs that resonated with her. Her unwavering self-belief led her to assert control over her image and music, defying industry norms and expectations. This defiance culminated in the release of her first album by Columbia Records in 1963. Initially underestimated, the album, featuring show tunes and ballads, defied all odds by selling 150,000 copies in just 1 month, showcasing her remarkable creative influence. Despite dissenting opinions, she insisted on selecting all the songs for the album and rejecting traditional marketing strategies, such as opting for a simple black and white photo for the cover. Her groundbreaking album not only won a Grammy for Album of the Year, but also made history by surpassing the iconic Frank Sinatra's work. Despite backlash from some Grammy voters, she remained resolute in her vision, asserting during her acceptance speech that her success was a result of not yielding to those who did not understand her creative direction. Barbra's iconic portrayal of Fanny Brice in Funny Girl on Broadway in 1964 showcased her unparalleled dedication and resilience. She astoundingly performed the role 867 times, even persevering through illness, demonstrating her unmatched commitment to her craft. With a remarkable 3.5-octave vocal range, she inspired songs specifically tailored to her extraordinary abilities. During one memorable performance, an unforeseen event involving a sprinkler breaking only enhanced her captivating performance, and was even incorporated into the show by the director. Despite her phenomenal success, her time in Funny Girl also marked the onset of severe stage fright, exacerbated by a distressing incident in 1967, where she forgot her lyrics during a concert. This vulnerability added a humanizing dimension to her otherwise fearless persona, leading her to avoid the stage for 27 years. In 1965, at just 23 years old, Barbra signed a groundbreaking $5 million TV deal with CBS for 10 specials, granting her unprecedented creative control. Her first special, My Name is Barbra, defied conventions by commencing with her solo performance in Darkness, a bold move that initially unnerved network executives but captivated 71% of TV viewers that night. Her exceptional work on the specials earned her 5 Emmy Awards, solidifying her influence and creative autonomy in the industry. Barbra Streisand made a significant transition from the Broadway stage to the big screen in 1968, starring in the iconic role of Fanny Brice in the movie Funny Girl. She had also brought her fame in the theatrical production. The film became a massive success, ranking as the highest-grossing movie in the United States for that year. Barbra's performance earned her the prestigious Academy Award for Best Actress, a remarkable achievement for her debut in the film industry and a groundbreaking moment. She shared the Oscar for Best Actress with Katharine Hepburn, marking the only tie in that category in the history of the Oscars. Barbra's journey to direct her first movie, Yentl, was a challenging one, as it took 15 years and faced numerous rejections from 12 studios before receiving a $14.5 million budget for production. During the production of Yentl, Barbra worked tirelessly, often enduring 20-hour workdays, and even disguised herself in tight bindings while directing a predominantly male crew, proving her resilience and determination in the face of skepticism and doubts. Despite the film's success, Barbra encountered unfair treatment due to her gender, with one voter openly admitting to not voting for her solely because she was a woman. reflecting the prevalent gender bias in the industry at the time. Barbra's outstanding work on Yentl garnered great reviews in 1984. But she faced further gender bias when the Golden Globes created a one-time award category specifically for her, instead of nominating her in the main directing category, a decision that led to public questioning of the exclusion by Barbra herself. Her vocal stance against gender bias in the industry gained significant attention, even prompting Congress to reference her case as evidence of gender bias in Hollywood, establishing her as a pioneer in the fight for gender equality in filmmaking. In 1995, Barbra made history once again by directing a concert special for HBO, for which she received the Directors Guild Award for Television Directing, making her the first woman to win in that category, despite battling severe stage fright. That had kept her off stage for 27 years despite her personal challenges. The special was a tremendous success, attracting 26 million viewers and generating $93 million in revenue, showcasing Barbra's resilience and talent in the face of adversity. During the ceremony, Barbra highlighted that only 3.7% of TV directing jobs were held by women, a cause she had been advocating for over 25 years. Barbra's victory came after a long-standing battle with the Directors Guild of America regarding this issue. On July 1, 1996, James Brolin and Barbra Streisand went on a blind date, both being in their mid-50s and having experienced challenging previous relationships. Barbra, divorced since 1971, and James, dealing with financial difficulties from his second marriage, were set up by their friend Linda Bruckheimer after a couple of cancellations. Nervous about the blind date, James even took a Valium, and Barbra was surprised to see a clean-shaven James, expecting someone with a rugged appearance despite a rocky start with a comment about James' hair, ended up engaging in a 6-hour conversation that lasted until the early hours of the morning. Coincidentally, they discovered that they were born just 3.4 miles apart in Los Angeles. Following their first encounter, Barbra asked for a lock of James' hair, which she still keeps framed in their home, along with a handwritten note. Barbra admitted that within 17 minutes of meeting James, she sensed he was different from the previous 28 blind dates she had been on in the past 3 years. Unbeknownst to James at the time and only revealed in her memoir later, Barbra had been secretly engaged to another man when they first met, a relationship she ended after their 5th date. James made 3 attempts to propose, with the first taking place in a hot air balloon over Napa Valley, presenting a 3.9-carat diamond worth $250,000. But Barbra declined, citing a 2-year rule. After a previous negative engagement experience, his second proposal on New Year's Eve 1997 in New York, in front of 14 friends, was also turned down. James' persistent proposals, culminating in a deeply personal letter, ultimately led to a successful engagement on March 15, 1998, during a picnic at Barbra's Malibu home, where he presented her with a 24-page letter containing 98 reasons they belonged together. James and Barbra got married on July 1, 1998. Exactly 2 years after their first date, the wedding held at Barbra's Malibu home cost $1.4 million and had exceptionally tight security with 37 guards, a no-fly zone, and non-disclosure agreements for guests and staff. The ceremony began at 8:47 p.m., the same time they first met, and featured 15,000 white roses and orchids from 4 different countries. Notable guests at the wedding included Tom Hanks, Oprah Winfrey, the Clintons, and Marlon Brando. Barbra wore a gown with a 27-foot train, while James wore an Armani suit with diamond cufflinks. During the reception, James delivered a 273-word speech at 11:43 p.m., expressing his deep affection for Barbra and revealing that she had helped him overcome his 27-year battle with insomnia. Before the wedding, they had spent 642 nights together, sharing intimate moments and creating special memories. Their marriage was marked by financial independence, with separate bank accounts and a practice they called bifurcation, which James initiated after his previous divorce. During the COVID-19 lockdown, they strengthened their bond, spending 425 consecutive nights together and developing new routines and activities, including writing a journal and making significant career decisions from their specially customized Swedish mattress headquarters. James mentioned that most of their best ideas originated from moments of quiet reflection during disagreements. James and Barbra had a unique approach to resolving issues by taking walks and adhering to specific rules. These rules included refraining from using phones, taking deep breaths every 30 steps, and walking in opposite directions around their Sand-NRR acre estate. After 17 minutes, they would return and record their feelings in journals. It's a method they employed at least 217 times, on one occasion, in 2019. Amidst a disagreement about Barbra's book, they took 7 walks over 3 days, even while on vacation. They sought separate walking paths from hotel staff, as James believed that walking helped calm their minds and naturally solve problems. Through their individual journeys and a love story built on unique foundations, James and Barbra exemplified the essence of true partnership in facing life's significant challenges, particularly in their joint fight for the lives of millions. Barbra Streisand remains dedicated to advocating for women's heart health, persistently advocating for increased research and improved care, using her influence and public platform to make a meaningful impact. Her memoir, My Name is Barbra, released in 2023, chronicles her life story, including her struggles with stage fright and her ongoing battle against unfairness. In 2025, her commitment to women's heart health continues to be a central aspect of her life, alongside her active involvement in new music and projects. Meanwhile, James Brolin, at 83, continues to pursue his acting and narrating career, with a noticeable shift in focus towards supporting Barbra's vital work. His decision to step back from a $2 million role serves as a powerful symbol of his unwavering dedication to Barbra and her mission, signifying that he is not merely a husband, but a true partner in her advocacy for gender equality and healthcare. Their partnership, built on honesty, shared rituals, and profound respect, enables them to confront this monumental challenge together. James Brolin's ongoing career, coupled with his willingness to prioritize Barbra's advocacy, underscores their mature partnership, where individual aspirations are harmonized with a shared greater purpose. His decision to reevaluate certain career paths is not a retreat, but a deliberate reprioritization, demonstrating active support for his wife's fight against the widespread and tragic illness.